Alright guys, how's it going? I hope you're doing very well. Now a nice and easy tutorial from myself today, essentially showing you how to reference an image sequence inside of Blender. So when you go to upload to the render network, everything should render perfectly fine. If you're unaware, Blender has a habit of missing things like an image sequence, a VDB sequence, Alembics, stuff like this. And the reason for this is just to keep the file sizes pretty relative and small. You can always double check this inside of the data properties. Now what I have here is a texture image node that you can see that I'm cycling through the frames, but it's only ever referencing the first frame. So when you go to pack everything up, it only grabs the first frame of the sequence. So what you need to do is you need to create the correct folder structure, and I'll quickly show you how to do that. It's dead easy. So I'll quickly drop into the desktop here. I have the folder that I've set up, it's called the Blender demo. I have my Blender file, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly create a new folder. And I'm going to name this something like image underscore sequence. And what I'll do is I'll take the actual frames that I'm using. So in my case, they're on a different location. And I'm just going to quickly copy these frames. And I'll paste them into the folder. Now the reason for this is so when we zip everything up, it gets referenced correctly. So you need to double check that you're now referencing the image texture from this new folder. So what I'll do is I'll just open this up quickly. I'll go to the desktop, Blender demo, image sequence, I'll select the first frame, and I'll just quickly set this back to 10 frames. And when I go back to play, everything should be working fine. So just keep in mind, make sure you now point to the correct folder. So this time when you go to File, Save and Pack, everything should be perfectly set up. And obviously you just carry on like normal, so when you go to upload, you can right click on this and you can zip it and then send the file. Now this works in the exact same principle for a VDB sequence. All you need to do is create a folder called VDB sequence and make sure everything's pointing in the right direction. Now, before I disappear, I can show you one more trick, and I don't know if I'm allowed to show you this, but I will anyway. You know how it says Blender only ever references the first image? You can kind of cheat a little bit. So what you can do is you can actually create an image texture and you can import each of these frames. So for example, you've got 10 frames in the sequence, you can create 10 image nodes and you can reference each of these frames and then they get packed because Blender sees this. Now, I've been cheeky, I've wrote a little script here. So what happens here is, with the selected object, I just hit play. So what I'll do is I'll actually create an image texture node with each of these frames, and now it gets included inside of the Blender data. You can see here on the right hand side. So that's a kind of cheap way. I don't recommend doing this if you've got a lot of frames because it will slow everything down. But if you've got 10 or so frames, yeah, use ChatGPT and write your own script. Anyway, thanks for watching.